Season 5 is dropping a new Magna and also Charlotte. These two characters, especially Charlotte, is something that you definitely want to keep your eye on. But before we go through that, boys, if you guys are new, of course, subscribe and leave a like. And as well, leave a comment. Let me know if you guys are summoning and who you're going for. Bear in mind, you can get one of these characters for free. Once again, you're probably going to be picking a Charlotte, but that doesn't mean you can stop there. You are meant to dupe these characters out, so we're going to go through, is it even worth summoning? Bear in mind as well that this is a content update, meaning the banner won't appear on reset for you lot. It's going to be appearing at the exact same time for everyone once the maintenance does finish. So check your times and whenever your server is going to update, but generally everyone's getting it at the exact same time, which is always fun. I like when everyone gets it at the exact same time rather than the Latin American servers get like 12 hours before my server, which is always a little bit annoying. But yeah, let's jump over towards JP and KR to show you lot how the characters actually work. But before that, let me just quickly say the banner on screen now is the banner. It's not confirmed if we're going to be getting Gaudry or obviously Vettel in the banner as like a filler character, but if they are, there's obviously a bonus. But the big thing to take away is that we are going to be getting Swimsuit Vanessa. She should be very similar towards Aster during Season 2 banner, so she's not going to have a rate up, but you can pull the character. Although the character is free, and you probably can get a few dupes on the skill page if they follow the exact same pattern as Aster during Season 2. You can't fully max dupe the skill page. You will need to pull one more copy of it, unless you buy the battle pass. I'm not entirely too sure. And also the character dupes, I think you can only get 2 of them for free. Hopefully that has changed and we can max dupe her for free, because this is a character you actually want to max dupe, although she's still not the greatest. But I guess if you somehow do manage to pull a copy of her, you actually probably want it, so it's not the worst thing. But once again, it's not right up, so who knows. Alright, so on the timeline, you lot can jump to whatever part of the video you want to. We're going to go through Charlotte, then we're going to go through Magna, then we're going to go through Should You Summon, and talk about the other banners coming along this season. So let's start off with Charlotte. By far the best one, and it's going to be a must summon for a lot of people. I myself am probably going to do one rotation. I wasn't going to do it, but like she actually is just so broken, and you really want to get this character to 2-star dupes. Okay, so our first passive when you get the character to LR, if all characters are green, you are going to grant 80% of your max HP as a shield to all allies. However, you're probably not going to be using full green characters because we don't really have that many good greens. There will be more greens in the future, like the new Fauna coming out probably later this season, even like Marileona. So there will be like a full mono green team later on, especially with Vanessa. So she will age a little better, but generally right now you're not going to be using a full mono blue team. So most of the power comes from her actual awaken passive, which is what I mean by the fact that if you want to go for this character, even though I do recommend you probably should get her for free anyway, even if you don't plan to dupe her out, you really want to get her to 2-star, especially 5-star, if you want to use this character properly. When you get the character to 2-star awakening, at the start of her turn, you're going to grant a barrier equal to 50% of your max HP as a shield towards the ally with the highest attack. Honestly, that's kind of where you really want to take the character to 2-star, but to make it even better, you can take it towards 5-star, which is the exact same passive. However, she does grant herself taunt immunity, which means she can actually use her skills, right? Because as you can see, these two effects do actually have to click herself, which means if you enter anti-magic with Black Aster and he taunts the whole team, you can actually still use these skills. Even if Aster taunts you with his ultimate, just any character that can taunt and ruin your character setup, you can still actually use these effects. So just more assurance that you can actually use the character rather than being locked out. But by far the biggest thing is getting that actual 2-star awaken passive that does give an actual high attacker ally a shield or barrier every single turn. So this is going to more or less go towards Julius. Julius can get this actual shield every single time and make it very hard to kill him. Like once again, like you're getting a shield every single time she has a turn. So with that being said, remember she can apply barriers towards her allies. So let's go through her skills. The first skill is going to be an actual SP buff towards a character to hide attack. Only +1, but her main use comes from a skill 2, which is going to give a character of your choice, if you select them, they're going to get SP buff by 2. They're also going to get debuff immunity. They're also going to have a chance, but if you do upgrade your skill effect, it can go upwards to 100% chance to reduce their skill 2 effect by 1. But also if you do have the skill page on the character, you can also get status immunity, so you can't be stunned. Like you can see why this character is so good and going to make any DPS character on your team a lot better. I will show you the animation because it is obviously very good. I mean, standard, but it looks nice, right? I mean, already you can see Julius is going to have debuff immunity. He's going to have stun immunity. He's going to have a barrier. And also, he's getting more SP basically almost every single turn. And he's already quite fast. So he's going to get more turns generally faster than anyone else in the team. So you can recycle ultimate so much faster. Her ultimate is going to give 30% damage reduction towards your whole team. You're also going to grant the highest attack ally level 4 defense penetration, which is actually massive, right? Just having this on Julius doing like extra damage towards Asta, who's got really high defense, you can actually counter, make Asta look squishy, which is why this is so good. But also, she's going to extend the barrier for all allies by 1 turn. You're not really going to use Noelle on this team because she kind of does something like similar towards Noelle already. But if you actually want to use Noelle, you can make Noelle shield 3 turns. And that means normally her big weakness is that she has a 2-turn shield. And then there's like 1 turn where she can't really have a shield. But yeah, you can constantly like for like at least like 3 turns, 6 turns, have a shield, which is really, really good. I'll showcase the actual animation here. I've actually seen the full thing of it. And to be fair, one of her most broken abilities as well is that she can actually combo attack with a character, and it will grant that partner 100% of her own max HP as a barrier. This is obviously the blue Charlotte, and I'm still kind of working on the gear, but you can see the gear I've given her, which is this one right here. I've worked a little bit. The HP is 92,000. Getting 50% of that, which is 40k shield, but also 100% of her actual HP. Plus, I think I'm missing some talents too. Like, you're getting 100k shield. That's literally what Noelle does, and she's doing that towards like characters almost every single turn, or obviously with her actual combo attack as well. So like, that's really, really good. Bear in mind, the combo attack isn't the high attack ally. It can just be someone on the team. So when she starts the turn, she can give like Julius an actual shield just by, you know, having a high attack. And you can combo with like Black Asta to get a stun and also give him a shield, which you probably don't want to do, but that's the example that you can do. So yeah, that is the Charlotte. Once again, an insane character that everyone's going to want to get, but you can see the power and why you want to get the character to do power. So when we talk about the Shiryu summon later on, that's kind of why you want to summon. You want to try and get as much deeps as possible to even use the character, because if you don't get the character 2-star awakening, there's generally no point. Her skill page you definitely kind of want to get. It's not needed, but having that 2-turn actual stun immunity when you apply it towards your character after using tier 2 is obviously good, right? The effect itself can be good a little bit, but like generally not too crazy. I mean, it is if you max it out, but essentially what she does do is upon taking damage from an attacker, so basically right now in the meta, Julius or Noelle, there's a 25 to 100% chance to actually grant a 15 to 35% damage reduction taken buff for 1 turn. It's only 1 turn, which means once they take damage from an attacker, which is normally the big DPS skill, it means the other character on the team won't do as much damage, but then it resets, and like it's okay. It's not too crazy. It's gonna be alright. But I say by far the biggest thing is just getting the skill page to actually get that 2-turn actual stun immunity. So yeah, if you plan to use Charlotte, definitely buy this in the battle pass if you don't somehow pull it and you somehow get Charlotte duped out before pulling the skill page. But if you unfortunately pull the skill page and not Charlotte, you're probably not gonna use this on anyone else. Okay, so for Magna, we're going to go through the passes first because you can see why this guy is kind of actually pretty decent, but burn character, you kind of got to build up to it. If you haven't like maxed out Charmy, and you got to go for more burn characters, but you can use character on red, so you can see he's not as like universal as someone like Charlotte that can kind of fit in any team as long as you use an actual attacker, but his actual passive, when you do get him towards LR just for maxing him out, you're going to actually get 2 turns at the start of the battle. You're going to apply burn to everyone, which is actually pretty good. It's just 3 damage. However, it is battle, so it's not going to be too great in PvE because there's waves and the battle only applies towards wave 1. But for PvP, it's going to be kind of good because you just get 3 damage. But when you do get him to 2-star plus, once again, same situation as Charlotte, you want to get him duped out here. When he attacks someone who's taking burn damage, he is going to apply a stun for free for 1 turn. And this is like every single time, by the way, which is actually like really, really good. But also, when you do get him to LR plus 5, it's the exact same, but he's going to get stun immunity permanently for the whole match, which will be, I guess, good for him in matches. Bear in mind, it's not going to be too great, this passive, because people have stun immunity. Obviously, Asta, a 5-star, gives his whole team stun immunity. Charlotte, you're seeing right now coming out, is going to give stun immunity towards, obviously, the person she targeted. So, there's a lot of stun immunity in the game. It's not going to be too great. There's still people using Radis as well. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be the worst. It's going to be good against, obviously, in mono reds, because mono red can like stun and control, like they can do a lot of mono red, so he's not going to be too bad. But in terms of like the mono red team, you always use you're always using Black Asta, you're probably always going to use Finral, and then you have to now use you can use Magna, but you can use Charmy, but then we're going to be a Witch Queen later this season. There's just going to be better characters. This guy is going to be good and usable if you get him maxed out. So his first skill is going to be, if the enemy is taking burn damage, inflict continuous burn damage. So you're going to do more of it basically, but also just normally as well, it's going to do another burn. So I think you get like 3 burns, which is kind of mad. So you see right now, if you like start in the match, if I was to attack here, we're going to get 2 more, I believe. Yes, you get 2 more because they're taking burn and you apply burn again. So how much can we stack it? Okay, only 3. But you're getting 3 burns off on the character. That's going to be really good. Second skill, though, you're applying burn if there's burn on the character, and you're also applying burn again. So you see right now, we do one of these. It's only going to apply 1 burn because there's no burn currently right now. Boom. And then we apply it again. So normally you don't have burn because you have the character to obviously LR, so they're always going to burn at start match. So tier 2, it's going to apply 2 more. So the exact same as skill 1. However, you do have the skill page. It will apply block HP recovery, which will be always useful right now, right? So ultimate is very much like Julius, but honestly a bit better. He attacks after removing an enemy barrier. So if you want to counter Charlotte or even just Noelle or anyone with barriers in the game, you can almost assure that you're going to almost kill someone here. For every instance of burn, so probably, you know, upwards to 3. Attacks after granting a 40% increased damage buff. That means you can go upwards to 120% damage increase. And if you do somehow kill someone, you are going to get an extra turn very much like Julius. So, and if you don't kill him, if they have burn, you're also going to get another stun as well. So it's yeah, literally just Julius ultimate, but better, but on like a worse kit because Julius kit's probably a lot better. The combined attack is going to just remove a barrier when you do attack. So yeah, the character sounds broken on paper, very much like Jack during season 3. But the problem is, like I said, the mono, you want to use him like mono red team. He's gonna be good in the burn team, and when Fana comes out, he'll look better. But like, there's just better things to do. And I think for the mono red comes out, he will be good for like 2 weeks. But then we get Witch Queen. And then Witch Queen, you're going to be using Witch Queen and Black Asta. Black Asta's doing all the DPS. You don't need Magna to do DPS, but will be kind of good as like a good substitute, like a mono red team if you don't have Witch Queen, but you'd rather use Witch Queen. So yeah, once again, he's a good character, and once again, Charlotte is very, very good too. So going for Charlotte and getting him duped out as well isn't the worst thing, and you actually probably want to mind it, and you can actually start thinking about even trying to use that mono red team with this actual Magna. So personally myself, I don't really care too much about him. I really do like mono red, and I actually want to use him more than Charmy, but once again, I care more about Charlotte. But if I get him duped out and I get him the 2-star awakening, I will be very, very happy because he looks like a fun character to play around with. So for the skill page, you definitely don't need it, I would say. The skill page only applies block HP recovery onto the character you attack on this tier 2 effect, which isn't like too crazy. It is helpful, like, you know, Black Asta has it, which if you're using Black Asta anyway, you probably would do that with him. So like, you don't necessarily need it. The skill effect, what it does do though, is upon attacking an enemy with burn damage, there's a 40% chance to 100% chance if you do max it out that it grants himself a 16 to 40% speed increase, which is always good for DPS characters because they really do want speed, which is once again why Julius is so good. However, I feel like sometimes you might just want to go towards like, you know, just a magic buff basically. Or is Magna actual attack buffer? I actually don't know. No, he's magic. So yeah, you might want to go towards magic buff. So it's not like you need it. If you get it, then probably use it. But don't chase it. Probably chase after Charlotte's more. So yeah, should you be summoning? 100%. I think this is probably one of the last good seasons we're going to get in a very long time. We're not going to talk about the characters in particular, but like next season, it's going to be season 7, which doesn't have a character. So that'll probably be our season 8, which is going to be Yami and also Luck, which it's called as Yami because everyone wants him, but I don't think they're good characters. And in season 9 is Mimosa and also the William, who aren't also good characters. So there's like 3 seasons ahead of us. So you're not going to go crazy summoning. So this is probably the best and last time to do it until we do get future better seasons. We know Mereoleona isn't coming out this season. We know she's coming out next season. So you still have like around a month to save up if you do one rotation now. However, bear in mind, if you want to use Black Asta on like the mono red team, then do bear in mind that this actual Witch Queen is dropping mid-season, and she is a character that's going to cost 24k. She is a normal filler character, so you can kind of skip and hope to get her on obviously the Mereoleona banner. Alright, so to wrap up the video, I'm going to go through some characters a little bit coming out in a few weeks on JP, so they're not going to come out for like a few months a little bit on global, so it's not like you can't summon for Charlotte now because she's going to get counted a little bit in the future. But the biggest one is Spirit Dive, you know, who's coming out with barrier immunities. If you have, you know, in the team, whenever he comes out, he's going to be pretty broken, and he's going to make it so your actual attacker cannot get a barrier and make this actual Charlotte's passive not that great. Plus, there's a lot of characters coming out nowadays with like barrier immunity and barrier like disabled, so you can't even apply barriers. So just once again, Charlotte is not going to be a character that's going to be used long term into the PvP. I say long term. She's going to be usable for the next few months in global, but in the future, she's going to scale up. But that doesn't mean you can't summon. It just, I mean, I guess I wouldn't personally go too crazy trying to max super if you are like a casual or free to play. If you're a whale, max duper, she's probably going to be broken for the next few months. So boys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know if you guys are summoning and who you're going for, Charlotte or obviously Magna. Once again, myself, I am going for Charlotte, but if I happen to pull a few copies of Magna, I'm not going to be too upset. So boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.